And we're live. Welcome back to another episode of the Better Than Bitcoin podcast. I'm your host, Jamie Dabauskas, and then let's get right into it. So, I haven't made another episode, which I'm doing right now, in 3 months. So, basically, I've been a little busy with schoolwork, and 2 days ago, I just finished my second year of college. My fourth semester in, I feel old already, and yeah, Bitcoin's been doing a lot since then, and I've been trying my best to tweet about it, but I mean, just schoolwork is just a lot. So let's just get right into it. Bitcoin is looking pretty spicy right now. Um, why did I say that? I don't know. Bitcoin isn't looking too good, grand scheme of things. It's been going sideways in a massive range from around 43K, 42K to 65K. The last episode was around here. This is when I was looking for confirmation of a new uptrend, and I was recognizing that it was in the range, and I was looking for another revisit of the top of the range to potentially just either get rejected or burst right through, as you can see it did right there. And I built a position with an average entry of around 35 to 36K, and I wrote it all the way up. Right here, this pump was when Tesla announced that they added Bitcoin to their balance sheet, so that helped me out quite a bit to break through that resistance, and it was like a slow grind up after that. I started to see and recognize that as Bitcoin was making a higher trend, it was making it with less and less momentum. So that's when I started to recognize and started to see, hey, maybe I should book this profit because I'm up 40% on my trade, 30, 35%, whatever it is. And it's not 30% on one single trade. I layered in with my entire portfolio of the spare cash I had on hand. So I was looking to take some profits, and I did so at around 52K at this resistance as I saw that it was being rejected and couldn't make a new high above that. As you can see in the short term, I was quite wrong as it just bursted through that to as high as 58K before being rejected hard and doing a blow off top and going back down to 43K. So after it blew off top, I felt a lot better about taking that profit and such. Yeah, in order to avoid a trap like this where it, let's say it just kept going up and all of a sudden I took profit down here and such of the sort, I should have just started raising and raising my stop loss to make it a trailing stop loss to the point where this candle would have blown out my stop loss and I would have taken profit at the exact same spot. Or if it kept going higher, that's where I had the opportunity to keep raising a stop loss. That's what I should have done. That was my mistake. I put that in my trading journal and on Twitter. And you can't learn from my mistakes if you don't recognize them, right? So, yeah, obviously Bitcoin's been grinding. It's what seems to be sideways, but yet still in an uptrend. It's a weird thing to describe, and it's been confusing me all ever since. But yet again, I haven't had time to take this down and like really analyze Bitcoin in the past few weeks or so. So as you can see here, Bitcoin got as high as around 65K. In my opinion, as it looking back at it now, that is a deviation of still looks like to be an entire range as still in. Technically at the bottom of the range. But with how badly it's looking, it could very possibly nuke through that range of technically there's another support at around this previous low of 43K. Right on the 1.618 Fibonacci extension off the 2019 high to March 2020 low of 3K. Bounced off that perfectly too. Yeah, I never saw when I was looking to book my profits when I was having that massive long position right here. I was looking for it to actually I was looking to actually add more at the top of that range if it ever revisited and retested it before going higher, but it never technically did. I guess this 43K candle area at around what, February 28th, I guess that counts, but I mean, my exact support and resistance points that didn't really touch that. So I want to see it actually gets that point, that 42K area, before I add another big bag. Yeah, but the thing is also there's a big space between 38K and 32K of no important support and resistance lines, in my opinion. So my next potential trade that I'm looking at for Bitcoin is actually starting to layer in. I'll be looking to buy the big bag around 42K and start to layer in if it goes below that support and resistance, breaks below that, goes to the 39K to 38.6 support and resistance, and if it just bounces in between that, that would be a perfect place for me to load up around here. I'm not looking for a break of an all-time high, because that requires just ignoring all of these support and resistance boxes. But I'll have it at around, I'll start looking at taking profits at around the first box and the second box and the third box. But if it starts to just break through them with force, not even acknowledging by going back to retest them, then I'll just kind of hold the bag and just raise the stop loss, unlike what I did the first time, to secure a profit. If it doesn't hold this 38.5 to 39K support, then the odds increase, in my opinion, that it goes to as low as 32K. But then that also brings up the question of what it looks like in the macro scale of things. So going on a daily chart, that would look pretty bad. Instead of just going back to retest a range high after going up in a trend, retesting it before going higher, it'd look pretty bad that it does that and then re-enters the previous range that I was in before. Because that would just look like one gigantic rounded top. Do I think there's a macro top here? Probably not, no. Because as you can see, if I zoom out a bit, get rid of all the drawings, so you can see a clean chart of Bitcoin. All the previous peaks, macro peaks in 2017, in 2013, 2013 again, or 2014, 2013, all those macro peaks have been giant blow-off tops. You don't see them retracing anything. You don't see them going small retraces and a small bleed out. You see them retracing 80, 70% off these entire tops. And then they do a slow bleed out over the course of years, and that enters the bear market. Do I think Bitcoin can enter a bear market from here? Most likely not. This looks like a gigantic range, and on just even here, just also a gigantic range that I'm just trying to trade within to accumulate more Bitcoin before going to more all-time highs. Because this doesn't look like, it doesn't have the price action of a blow-off top of a macro top. Like, it's not it. It could be it, but doesn't look like it. It could be a top in disguise. How about that? So, yeah, I'm looking to add around 42K to 38K, average in, have a stop loss below that. So if it breaks below that, odds increase, it goes down there to 32K. And then that's where things can get choppy, and that's when I'll reevaluate. If it doesn't even reach to that 42K level, if it bounces from here, I want to see it reclaim 47K before I start to also scale back into a long position, looking for targets of 52K, 57K, and 62K. In the grand scale of things, no matter how it gets there or where it goes, if it breaks above this resistance level of 62K, and that fares very, very well for Bitcoin, and in my opinion, the next bigger target, there will be chop included in going to this target instead of just straight up, in my opinion, will be about six-figure Bitcoin, about $100,000 Bitcoin. Break above that, people are going at euphoric, and that's where things will start to hopefully get crazy. I mean, a majority of the money made and the trend is in like the last 10% of the move. But also 80% of statistics are all made up, so who cares? Anyways, yeah, that's a quick little summary on Bitcoin. I'm looking to add back around 42K, 38K. Stop loss at around below that, so let's say 37K. And yeah, Bitcoin's faring well. Or not faring well right now. I want to see it fare well. In terms of other charts that I showed on the previous episode I talked about me and my business partner Craig. We started an investment fund, Cobalt Capital. And we have a website up and running now, cobaltcapital.com. I'll put it up on the screen. I'll show the website later in this episode if you're watching on YouTube or whatever. Yeah, so a couple of positions I showed in last episode was SILJ, a silver junior miner ETF, and Planet 13 Holdings, which is a weed stock, PLNHF. And I showed PLNHF around when I was approaching this resistance of around $6.45. And I know describing this, I already described this in our quarterly report. We just released our quarterly report on cobaltcapital.com to see more in depth about how this trade unfolded. But pretty much quick summary is we entered around the bottom of the range at around $5.25 a share. And we're looking for targets around $9. It did not reach our targets at $9. It reached a high of $8.67 before blowing off and re-entering that range and just chopping ever since then. But the thing is, we took our profits out of that first blow off right there. And we for around, I think it was like 7 something a share. And we booked a cool, what was it? It was like a cool like 40 something percent profit on that little small position, not in the entire fund. Yeah, just wanted to show that because that did well, and I showed that last episode. Another thing I want to show you is SILJ. My personal account, not including Cobalt, I have quite a bit in SILJ because I believe silver is going to absolutely explode over the next few years. But SILJ hasn't really exploded. Safe to say, it hasn't really exploded in the recent months. It's been more chopping and just with severe volatility. But the thing is that makes the chart look so beautiful is it has made higher lows consistently, right? It's been in this giant range, broke above it sometimes, re-enter it, broke above it, re-enter it. Now we're above it. It looks like we're consolidating below resistance again. Honestly, I can't say this is going to go straight up, but this might chop for a bit more. But the second it breaks above $19.25 to $20 a share is when things start to get crazy. That will be price discovery for the ETF. Not that there's a premium on the ETF that's really, tradable, but that's when silver will break above around $30 an ounce, and that's where things will start to get interesting. Let me zoom out on the silver to show you why I'm really bullish in silver. Look at those drawings. This is looks to be like a massive 40-year cup and handle formation from as high as $50 an ounce in 1980, $50 an ounce in 2011, and right now we're looking to possibly revisit that $50 an ounce. Even if it is a failed breakout and doesn't break above that $50 an ounce resistance, still catching a move from $30 to $50 an ounce, and then catching extra volatility on top of that by investing in silver junior miners, that will be just a 2x, 3x return. It's quite beautiful, in my opinion. Yeah. That's a little recap. I love silver. I loved Planet 13 as we took profit on it. And Bitcoin is looking interesting now. It's actually going down. It's in the past 2 hours. Wow. Yeah. So quick little recap. I want to see Bitcoin around 38K, 42K. I'll start adding my position there. I haven't really been looking at a lot of altcoins yet. They've been really overextended, and I don't want to get burned again. It's just not my forte. I might dabble in them here and there, but silver looks good. Oh, here's what I want to show. Cobalt Capital website. Got this website up and running. Let me expand the tab. There we go. I built this website on Squarespace. We purchased the domain. So this is where I'll post all of our quarterly reports. Team, that's me and my business partner Craig. Here's the quarterly report. You can check it out. I'll put the website in the link to the description and such like that. This is all to build a track record for ourselves as money managers. And you can look at more in depth in this on your own time. I have 5 guys food waiting in the other room, and I'm really hungry. So I'm going to wrap up this episode. So yeah. Quick little summary. Cobalt Capital is doing great. Check out the website. I'll be tweeting a lot more now that school is out, and I will be back home in Florida. I just want to make an episode with this setup because this is one of the last times you'll see this setup. I'll be moving in an apartment next year, and it'll be a nicer setup. Promise me. I promised that. Damn it. Wow. I'm hungry. Okay, so see you guys later. Peace out.